All right, Friday happy hour.
Get those likes, get those views.
All right, here we go. It's Friday. It's happy hour. So let's get going. It is March. What's the date today? March 14th. But Monday is St. Patrick's Day. So I've got the St. Patrick's Day beads on, and for the happy hour beer, I've got a Guinness. And let's also get the room a little green here. All right, so. Ooh, do you hear the nitrous? Oh, Victor's here. Oh, hey, dude. I hope you got yourself a stout for St. Patrick's Day. I actually forgot that Monday was St. Patrick's Day because I go down to Jersey to Belmar and they celebrate St. Patrick's a little early there because they stagger the parades. And they had the parades a few weeks ago, and it's kind of a big thing. They have like a couple 100,000 people show up in town, and it's just a big event. So, milk stout, yeah, that's very good. I had a milk stout last week. I think I had a milk stout. I think it was the left-hand milk stout. Guinness on Sundays and Mondays. Okay, well that's all right. I can't argue with that. Well, let's see. This is settled here. My favorite thing about the Guinness cans is the way they pour. You just, hold it upside down, and it's always a perfect pour. Although this isn't really the right glass. Well, cheers. All right, so what have I been working on this week? Well, it's been more Star Streamer stuff, and it's been a lot of failures, so I don't really have that much to talk about as far as what I've been doing because it's just a lot of stuff that didn't work. I started off trying to do some work on Cassie, and nice, the left-hand milk stout. That's what I had last week. That was very good. And I am left-handed. Even if you're not left-handed, you could still have the beer. So I was trying to fix up Cassie here for some character tests, and one of the things I wanted to do was fix her hair because it's a asset that I bought, and it kind of worked, but it had some problems. I tried to sculpt it into place, and ended up kind of screwing up some of the hair strands. So I thought maybe I would try and make my own version of it. And I think I had mentioned that last week. So I tried to do that, and I thought it might not be too difficult to do. But I'll show you in Blender, actually. So this was my attempt at sculpting a new hairdo. It's not terrible, but it's like more poofy than I wanted it to be. Like there's just too much volume here. So if we go back to this one is a little more form-fitting. It's a little not as volumey. So I ended up going back to this one and just fixing the problem areas as best I could. There's still some weird, like really super sharp edges here and stuff, but hopefully you won't see that too much. But, the tool I was using here is actually pretty cool. You basically just do these individual strands, and then let's say I want to do a new strand. I could just do, make sure I'm in sculpt mode here. Go duplicate strand, and I'm going to use the slide tool here to put it like out in front, and then I can just start sculpting. And if it's too long, I can use this tool, kind of shrink it, and then once I have it in place, like roughly where I want it, then there's all these options for shaping and everything. So I can control the overall thickness. I can make it thicker at the root. and thinner or thicker at the tip, and it's got these shape factors, which is where that transition will happen. So it's got a lot of control. Then there's all these different, you can assign different textures to it, and there's different profiles. So you could do like a kind of a square block. You can do islands, which will make individual strands. And then there's all different controls for the different strands. So it's a pretty interesting tool. It's just, I wasn't quite happy with the way it came out, so I wasn't sure whether I should go back in and try and keep working with this and keep sculpting it, or just try and go back and fix the old one. Both of these are kind of temporary. They're stand-ins anyway, so I ended up going back to the old one. I still might come back to this one. But this tool is called Stylized Hair Pro, and it's pretty good. There's a couple other tools I might try, but that's kind of what I was doing. It was a lot of playing around with this, and a lot of just bad-looking hairdos. So it was a bad hair week. So yeah, here she is here, and basically I'm just trying to fix her up so we can do some animation tests. I've been working on like a new shirt, updating her shirt here, and just trying to fix her up. Now, I want to do some facial animation tests, and part of the problem with this character is that the MetaHuman iPhone motion capture tool was not translating very well over to her rig. Reallusion does have a tool where you can do that, but it wasn't working very well. So the next step is to try and convert her to a MetaHuman, which is kind of a complicated process. So I'm trying to just get her far enough along so that when I do that conversion, I only have to do it once, because it is kind of a pain in the neck. And if I do want to make changes once I convert her, it's not really all that easy to do. I've got to kind of go back a couple steps. So it's just been a lot of failure. I mean, that's why I need a beer at the end of the week. So anyway, what's more interesting, I think, is I usually don't pay attention at all, but the Oscars were a couple weeks ago, I guess, and the winner for Best Animated Feature Film was Flow. Did you see that, Victor? Did you see that one? I kind of had not been paying attention, and that movie kind of went under the radar for me. So I decided, well, I should check it out. It was good. So I watched it, and it was made. The thing that makes it a big deal is it was made in Blender. That's the tool I just had open doing the hair stuff. And Blender is like a free open source. Well, it's not open source. Is it open source? I don't know, but it's free, and basically it's a tool that's being used by more and more artists, but it's really not like an industry standard tool. A lot of places still are using Maya or Houdini. So it was kind of a big deal to see a movie made with that kind of tool that won the Best Picture. Now, this has been kind of a trend that's been going on. Was it last year or the year before that Godzilla Minus One won special effects, and that was a very small team of about 20 or so people doing all the effects for that. And Flow had a team of about 20 or so people. They said 20 core people. So no dialogue. That's true. There was no dialogue. That probably made it both easier and harder. So I watched it. I liked it. I thought it looked pretty good. I thought the story was pretty good. And I did see, I watched Wild Robot. I don't know if you saw that one, Victor. 20 people. Yeah, it was 20 people. 20 people. They had some other studios doing some extra work for them. So if you watch the credits, you'll see like some extra studios in there that were involved. But I think they said that their core team was basically 20 people. So I watched Wild Robot, and Wild Robot, I mean, look, Wild Robot looked much better. But I mean, it had a budget of, I don't even know what their budget is, and it had hundreds of people working on it. So you would expect it's going to look better. As far as like a movie, I thought that Flow is a better movie. Wild Robot just was kind of the same stuff that you see over and over and over again, and it just starts to get a little repetitive. And it is a kids movie, but Flow had a little bit more sophistication to it, I guess. Yeah, Wild Robot did look good. It looked amazing, actually. It looked really good. I actually don't pay that much attention to the animated movies lately, just because I really haven't liked many of them that have been coming out. So I just kind of gave up. But Wild Robot did look amazing. Like, I found myself, just stopping and looking at some of the shots, because they were, it was just really, really well done. They had a very similar style to Flow, where it was kind of very painterly, and it was just, I thought it was executed perfectly. It looked amazing. So anyway, for those of you who haven't seen it, I figured I would just bring up the trailer. And this is the trailer for Flow, and so you can take a look at it. Thank you, Victor. Yes, I was muted that entire time. I turned off my microphone so that you wouldn't hear me during the last trailer. Okay. What I said, I need like a red light somewhere to tell me when my microphone's on. It should be on my microphone or something. What I basically said was that movie was made for $3.5 million, and 20 people, and then Wild Robot here was your traditional big budget Hollywood film. I don't know what the budget was for it, but probably had hundreds of people and probably a couple hundred million. And yeah, I guess that's about all I said. So we'll just take a look at this. This is one of the movies it was up against, and you can see that they're both very similar in style. One cost $3.5 million, the other cost I don't know. I guess I could look up the budget. I think it was like they usually run around, I think 200 million, 300 million or so. So let's start it over again, and I will now mute myself.
I see trees of green and clouds of white. Bright, blessed day,
Clicked on the wrong window.
dark, sacred night. What a wonderful world. I hear babies cry at night. Watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Sometimes, to survive, we must become more than we were programmed to be.
I remember this time. I almost forgot, but I am unmuted myself. Um, Flow, how much did it make? It made it didn't make a lot. I actually remember seeing these numbers. It didn't make a lot, but compared to what it made money. It definitely made money. I don't I don't know though what they spent in. I don't know. They probably didn't have much of a marketing campaign. I had never even heard of it. So yeah, it did make some money, but I don't remember seeing much about it or anything. So it'd be interesting to see what those numbers are. I'm just curious. Let's see if I can find it. I'm curious. Wild Robot budget. It made 333 million worldwide. But it doesn't tell me the budget. Whoa, wait. It had a production budget of 78 million? Wait, is that true? Is that right? $78 million? That's really cheap. I don't know if that's correct or not. Hold on, I'm trying to find here. Let's see. Wild Robots 318 million box office gave DreamWorks its biggest year. Let's see. Let me get this up here. Whoa. Stop. $78 million budget. That's really low. Wow. That's crazy. I wonder how they made it for so cheap. They all lie now. Yeah, they do. But I mean, that's a big lie. I mean, they usually shave 10, 20 million off, but that's crazy. Like I mean, Blue Sky used to make cheap movies. As far as our budgets, we were usually below the industry standard, I think, as far as like budgets, but we never made anything for that cheap. Maybe Ice Age 2. Anyway, it's still 78 million is still a lot more than 3.5 million. So, you know. Now, the other movie, there were two other movies up for the Oscar. One was a Disney movie, which I will never watch because I don't watch Disney movies anymore. The other was called Memoir of a Snail, another movie which I'd never heard of. But we can check out that trailer as well. This one I actually do want to watch. I'm probably going to watch this tonight if I can find it somewhere. It's a stop motion film, and again, I've never heard of it. And we'll just watch this trailer too, because this was the other one that was up for the Oscar, and we'll take a look at this one right now. So let's get this up and running, and here we go.
Dad used to say that childhood was like being drunk. Everyone remembers what you did, except you.
Good one, Dad.
My twin
I already
brother,
like this.
Gilbert. We had two souls, but one heart.
Look, Gracie.
Rabbit face, rabbit face, rabbit face.
Why are you dressed like an ant?
No, I'm a snail.
Oh, funny.
I believed in glasses half full and silver linings. Life was fleeting, but so precious.
Bravo!
Aww, now she's got a boyfriend.
Life can only be understood backwards, but we have to live it forwards.
Say cheese, Gracie.
Snails never go back over their trail.
As soon as I'm old enough and got money, I'm coming to get you.
Childhood was life's best season. It never lasts, but everyone deserves one. I remember everything.
Thank you, Victor. I thought I hit the button. I thought I got to get a light. I got to get a light somewhere that tells me when I'm muted. Anyway, there you go. Let me remember what I was saying. I said this was the other movie that was up for the Oscar. So I said there were 3 movies up for the Oscar because I don't acknowledge Disney movies anymore. So yeah, this is one. I want to see this one. So I'll see if I can find this tonight and watch it. I mean, I don't know. Between Wild Robot and Flow, I would have given the Oscar. If I were voting, I would have given it to Flow. I think Wild Robot definitely looked much better, but it should for probably had a couple hundred people, and like I'm surprised that it was done for that low. I mean, you're right, Victor. Like tax breaks and lying and who knows what else. So who knows? Although I think Flow was funded by grants and stuff, government grants as well. So it's just what happens now, I guess. But Flow was I don't know, it was something new and different. And as far as like Wild Robot, like I said, the story was just was kind of more of the same. But it did look amazing. Now this movie I do want to see. I'll have to check this one out. If I can find it tonight, I'll try and watch it. If not, maybe I'll try and see if I can find it this weekend. I will definitely let you know if I find it and where I find it. I found Flow on. Flow was on. I think that was on HBO. I think I found that on HBO. Wild Robot I had to rent, and so this one probably have to rent as well. So anyway, the reason why I'm talking about this, the Oscars and these movies, is because actually, before I get into that, I want to look up what the budget was for Memoir of a Snail budget. Let's see if we can figure out. 4 million. 4 million is what I'm seeing here. Unconfirmed. The internet does lie sometimes. I'm not exactly sure here. I see something that says 4 million, but I don't know if that's correct. All right. Well, I don't know, but anyway, that looks like it was another low-budget film. That one to me looks the most interesting, just based on the trailers. But I'll have to give it a watch and see. Netflix. I canceled my Netflix. Flow's on Netflix. Yeah, I canceled my Netflix. There's just nothing on Netflix I want to watch anymore. I was at my friend's house and I started to watch, oh God, what's the name of that? Arcane, season 2. And I got bored of it. Like I got like 2 or 3 episodes in and I really liked the first season, and second season, I just was bored. I don't know. I just didn't care anymore. I mean, the first season was like 2 years ago or something, 2 or 3 years ago. So that was like one of the few shows on Netflix that I actually wanted to watch. There just really isn't anything on there anymore, so I canceled it. Yeah, I'll have to see. If I can find this. So anyway, the reason why I'm going over these films and bringing up the fact that Flow won an Oscar is because, Amulet Studios we're trying to make stuff on a low budget independent studio, trying to produce things at a high level and compete with bigger studios. And what I think something like that shows is that it can be done, and it has been done. Flow won Best Animated Film this year. And Victor, do you remember, was it last year, Godzilla Minus One, or was that 2 years ago? I can't keep track of time anymore. But that won Best Visual Effects. It was up against Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I think, right? Another movie that was, had a massive budget, and, that movie had hundreds and hundreds of people working on it. And, a budget of $15 million and 20 people beat out a budget of $350 million and, 600 or 700 people. So the point is, I think that what we are seeing is the old Hollywood model, the old Hollywood industry. I mean, we're seeing it collapse. It was just a story I saw about Jellyfish was closing, Technicolor was closing. Everybody's closing their doors. I see a lot of people on LinkedIn who are, they're being let go. A lot of companies are firing. The old studio system seems to be failing for a lot of different reasons. And I think what this means is that there's a chance for small teams to get together and start producing things. And I think that you don't need a terrible, you don't need a lot of money. You do need some money, obviously, but it can be done. And I think that tools like AI are going to make it easier for teams to compete and produce things at lower and lower budgets. And, we might just see the entire studio system disappear. Who knows? But if that's the trend, that the industry is trending away from the big studios and moving towards smaller independent studios, and they're gaining more clout and more success and more accolades, well, hey, that's good news for me. Yeah, I think it was last year too. So yeah, that means that Amulet Studios is poised well to do well, and let's hope that's the case. And with that, I will say cheers, and this looks like to be about the end of my beer, which it is. And with the end of the beer means that is the end of the stream. So happy hour stream lasts as long as my beer lasts, and so it's been good hanging out. Victor, thanks for joining and hanging out, and that's it for this week, I guess. So we'll see you next week, and hopefully I'll have some more success. I'll have more things to show of mine that hopefully worked, and I will see you all then. Where's the button?